Hello everyone. Things have certainly taken a chaotic turn, haven't they? Just before the last general election, everything seemed to be heading in the right direction. I was optimistic. We had what felt like a verbal agreement with Reform UK, and our first major event in London went off without a hitch. Tommy Robinson was undergoing a public image revival, moving closer to mainstream acceptance. Slowly but surely, we were starting to bring the nation together, making genuine progress. But now, it feels like the wheels have come off. The Conservatives are scrambling to outflank Reform UK on the right, and Warren Lee is making a strong case for being the more effective opposition. Meanwhile, Tommy is stuck in solitary confinement, and Richard Tice has seemingly thrown away not just the key to his release, but also a substantial amount of goodwill and public support in the process. While the situation isn't entirely our fault, let's be honest. Tice walked right into that trap during his ill-fated interview with Camilla Tominey. He tried to deliver what he thought was a politically savvy response to push Reform UK's agenda forward, but instead it backfired spectacularly. If he can't navigate tough interviews like that, he's in serious trouble. Leadership demands decisiveness, and if Tice keeps equivocating, whether to himself, the media, or us, he risks losing not just credibility, but the momentum we've built. We need clarity now more than ever. It's time for Tice and others in leadership to make their positions clear, because without a united front, we cannot hope to succeed. As June Slater rightly pointed out, infighting will only derail us. The core of our movement is unity. Without it, we have no chance. Personal differences need to be set aside in favor of the greater goal. Weak leadership won't get us where we need to be. We need strong, resolute voices to guide us forward. If we don't stand together, everything we've worked for could slip through our fingers. Tommy Robinson and his supporters recognized the political landscape well before the last election, throwing their weight behind Reform UK with unwavering commitment. Their support proved instrumental, contributing to the party's success in electing 5 MPs to Parliament. While no one claims sole credit for that outcome, it's undeniable that the same grassroots energy and dedication displayed at Saturday's protest played a crucial role in Reform's breakthrough. Everyone involved understood that openly endorsing Tommy would have been politically risky. Tommy himself acknowledged as much, but what supporters didn't anticipate was being cast aside so abruptly and at such a critical moment for the movement. The frustration among many, especially working-class voters, is palpable. For them, this feels like a profound betrayal, not just of a political alliance, but of the trust they placed in a party that promised to challenge the establishment and fight for their interests. As June rightly pointed out, expecting these supporters to simply move on as if nothing happened is both naive and arrogant. This moment has struck a deeper chord, tapping into the growing public weariness with political condescension and broken promises. Reform's leadership now faces a stark choice. They can either recognize the gravity of the situation and make amends, or risk alienating a core base of supporters whose loyalty was hard-won. With political trust in short supply, the leadership must understand that these people are no longer willing to tolerate arrogance from any party, least of all one that claimed to stand apart from the political status quo. How Reform responds in the coming days will determine whether this is a stumble or a fatal blow to its ambitions. The way Reform UK has handled recent events feels like they're sending the message, "We'll treat you with contempt, but we still want your vote." It's difficult to see how such an approach can succeed. Uniting the centre-right has always been a daunting task, like trying to herd wild cats, with each faction fiercely territorial and driven by ego. The result is often chaotic. After that disastrous interview, I even remarked that Reform UK was finished, claiming Richard Tice had just delivered his own Gerald Ratner moment. But maybe I was wrong. Perhaps things need to fall apart before they can be rebuilt stronger. I still hold on to that hope because, as June Slater said, Reform UK represents our best chance at reclaiming the country. However, for that to happen, the party must show a deeper understanding of its supporters, what drives them, what they fear, and what they hope to achieve. Without that, it won't matter how good their policies are. If they continue to alienate the very people they rely on, the failure will rest squarely on their shoulders. Tensions are simmering within the Reform Party as members and supporters voice frustration over what they see as a misguided approach by the party's leadership. Some supporters have expressed disappointment, feeling dismissed by Reform's upper ranks. Prominent figures like Rupert Lowe and Ben Habib have gained favour among the party's base, with many arguing that they better understand the movement's priorities compared to Reform's current leadership. Critics are particularly frustrated with the leadership's perceived efforts to appease mainstream media figures, arguing that such attempts are futile. Staying quiet, as Lee Anderson did, would have been smarter, one supporter noted, referring to Anderson's avoidance of public disputes. The mainstream media won't give Reform fair treatment no matter what they say. Trying to please them is a losing strategy. The discontent reflects a broader divide within the party between those advocating for a more uncompromising, grassroots-focused approach and leaders seeking mainstream validation. Supporters are urging Reform's leadership to recalibrate their strategy, warning that continued attempts to win over traditional media will alienate their core base. The internal friction comes at a critical time for the party as it navigates political challenges and seeks to solidify its position ahead of upcoming elections. The truth is straightforward. A political party that claims to represent the people must actively engage with them, understand their concerns, and genuinely connect with their needs. Spending time trying to impress left-leaning news presenters is a futile effort. The media has already decided where they want Reform UK to end up. Nowhere. Yet, Reform UK still has a real opportunity, and we stand ready to support them. Our volunteers, campaigners, and social media advocates are prepared to mobilize and do what it takes to help reclaim the future of this country. All we ask in return is a bit of loyalty and respect. That's not too much to ask, is it?